Hello and welcome to the special broadcast on India versus West Indies Super 8 match of the T20 World Cup on DD India. India's journey in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026 has arrived at a defining crossroad. After an unbeaten group stage and testing Super 8 campaign, the men in blue now face a do-or-die clash against West Indies at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. With the semi-final spot at stake and the no margin for error, this virtual encounter final promises drama, pressure and the world-class cricket. Will India rise to the occasion or will Caribbean Challenge bringing an end to their title defense? Welcome to the special broadcast coverage of the India versus West Indies match, a Super 8 decider. So let's get started. India's T20 World Cup campaign has reached a decisive moment. After an unbeaten group stage and the mixed Super 8 run, the men in blue now face a virtual quarter-final against the West Indies at Eden Gardens in Kolkata. With a semi-final berth on the line and no room for error, it's a clash that promises high intensity and high stakes. Here is more.
The Indian cricket team's hopes of qualifying for the T20 World Cup 2026 semi-finals rest entirely on the result of their final Super 8 encounter against the West Indies at the Eden Gardens. Reigning champions India sailed through the group stage unbeaten, but their title defence took a serious hit with a loss to South Africa in their Super 8 opener. Under pressure, they responded strongly with a commanding 72-run win over Zimbabwe to stay alive in the race. While South Africa already defeating the West Indies earlier and sealing their semi-final berth with 4 points and a superior net run rate, the equation in Group 1 is now crystal clear. The top two teams from each Super 8 group progress to the semi-finals. For India, the scenario is simple: beat the West Indies and qualify alongside South Africa. A win would take India to 4 points, while the Windies would remain on 2. However, a loss would end India's campaign. In case of an abandoned match, both teams would share a point and finish on 3 each, but West Indies would advance due to a superior run rate. Conditions also play a key role. Eden Gardens has already produced high-scoring contests in this World Cup, with an average first innings score of around 180 and the 200 mark has been crossed twice. While the surface has offered assistance to both batters and bowlers, dew remains a potential factor in the night game. Interestingly, while India dominate the overall T20I head-to-head, the trend shifts in T20 World Cups. The West Indies have won 3 of their 4 World Cup meetings against India, with India's only victory coming in 2014. At Eden Gardens, though, India enjoy a perfect 4-0 T20I record against the Caribbean side. For India, it's a straightforward win and move forward, lose and go home. A semi-final spot, pride and title defence hopes all hinge on one final Super 8 showdown. Sports Desk, DD India.
And fans are excited ahead of the Super 8 match between India and the West Indies at the Eden Gardens. We know that it's going to be a cracker of a contest, and fans from not only from India, from the world, all over the world are assembled at the Eden Gardens to watch a key match between the two heavyweights. West Indies in the T20 format, two-time former champions. India also two-time former champions. So it's going to be a cracker of contest between two teams at Eden Gardens.
For India, since it's a big game, it's a semi-final, it's a Super 8 contest, a do-or-die game for India. I'd say Ishan Kishan, he's been playing well, throughout the series, throughout the tournament. So he'll be batting well. Then there's like Hardik Pandya as well, Abhishek Sharma as well. Everyone's performing well. So, we hope everyone bats well and, Suryakumar comes into the click as well today. And yeah, just hoping for a good game and India wins.
We need a collective performance basically to get into the game and to win this virtual quarterfinal against the top West Indies side.
Shamran, Hetmeyer, they've all been playing well. Shai Hope. We'll see if we can turn it around and we can beat them like the South Africa did this past week.
We hope all the players perform well, Abhishek especially and Bumrah, so that we can win this match.
Now let's take a look at the playing 11 of both the teams. First, India. If you talk about India's playing 11 here, Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Akshar Patel, Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, Sanju Samson, hoping that he will be there in the playing 11 today. Tilak Verma, Shivam Dube, Arshdeep, Varun Chakravarthy and captain Suryakumar Yadav for this match is our likely playing 11. Now, talking about the playing 11 of the West Indies team. Here, let's take a look. Brandon King, Roman Powell, Jason Holder, Sharfa Rutherford, Gudakesh Moti, Shumron Hatmayer, Roston Chase, Romario Shepherd, Matthew Forde, and Shamar Joseph, their pace king. And Shea Hope, the captain and wicketkeeper for the Team India. So we are hoping that it's going to be their likely playing 11 in today's big match and the important match and the do or die match between the two teams. Now let's take a look at the recent stats of the key players from both the side. First, Suryakumar Yadav. If you take a look in last 10 matches, he has scored 455 runs. The average is 60.43 and the strike rate is 160.88. Ishan Kishan in the last 9 matches, he has scored 421 runs. The average is 46.78 and the strike rate is 207.38. Arshdeep Singh in last 8 matches, in 15 wickets he has taken and the economy is 8.83 and the strike rate is 12. And Varun Chakravarthy in last 8 matches, 13 wickets, 7.68 is his economy and the strike rate is 12.92 and he is going to be key for India in today's match. Now talking about the West Indies team. Shumron Hatmayer, the key player in last 10 matches, 405 runs, average is 50.63, stupendous, and strike rate to 181.61. Shea Hope in last 8 matches, 237 runs, 33.86 is the average and 143.63 is the strike rate. Gudakesh Moti in the last 8 matches, 13 wickets, economy is 7.27 and the strike rate is 12. Akil Hossain in the last 8 matches, 9 wickets, economy is 9.15 and the strike rate is 17. And now to break down the high pressure clash, we are joined by former India cricketer and expert commentator Ajay Mehra, who will help us to decode the key battles and from India's explosive top order to the concern around the bowling attack heading into this virtual quarter-final. Ajay, a very warm welcome. And also we are joined by DD India correspondent Suchitra to analyze this key clash between the two teams. And so let's get started with our guest today. Rakesh is joining us. Rakesh, a very warm welcome. It's great to have you on the show. First talking about Rakesh playing 11 and in the last match we saw that when Rinku was not available, we drafted in the top order our key player, that is Sanju Samson, a right-hand batter. So do you think India will just go with the same plan or do you think there will be some tweak in the playing 11?
I don't think so because, this looks quite solid to me because that has helped you get off to a good start, a confident start, and everybody contributed. So the playing 11 looks okay to me, but my main source of concern is the way our bowlers have been performing. Below par to say the least. Every team has been very comfortable against our attack. It is just that we scored those many runs, just because we have batted first. We haven't really experienced the pressure of, chasing. The only time we had an opportunity to chase down a total, we lost. So toss becomes an important because psychologically, I think Indians are still in a good frame of mind to just put the runs on the board. But if due becomes a factor, then it is always better to chase. So Indians still haven't sorted out all their issues, but they will still go into the game as the favorite, all right. But I think if our bowlers don't keep things under a leash, Indians will have to really play out of their skins to come out stronger.
Definitely, and hoping that India will just the way they just bounce back against Zimbabwe, they will continue that momentum. If they bat first, definitely they will go for a big target on the scoreboard. Suchitra, talking about this West Indies team, if you talk about they have many pinch hitters, but the key question is that India has lost 19 wickets to finger spin, the most among the Super 8 teams in this tournament so far. So do you think that this West Indies spin attack has that quality to dent India, and how you analyze the West Indies spin attack?
Well, Narayan, I don't think it's about the quality of the spin attack. I think now it has become sort of a mental block for Indian batsmen. If we look at the spinning credentials of Aryan Dutt or Salman Ali Agha, they are not, known for that kind of spin, and Indian batters, they have always been known for playing well against the spin, but the story has always been the same in practically every match, and especially talking about Abhishek Sharma, the way he was getting out. Of course, he played well against Zimbabwe, but that half century is his second slowest half century in T20 cricket. So we can say that the Indian batters, they have not performed in a way that they are known for, and Indian team, they were winning the matches, but they have not really played like the defending champions. And if we look at all the teams, then the way South Africa is winning their matches, their chase against West Indies was such a dominant chase. They played like a champion team. So I think we'll have to take a cue from the way the South African batsmen performed against West Indies in that chase. So the West Indies spinners, or their bowling lineup, if we can say, if we look at the bowling lineup of both the teams, that then we are stronger in the bowling department. So you can score runs against the West Indies spinners and their pacers, but then you will have to play with the confidence. And I think the way the Indian batters have performed in this tournament, their confidence has taken a hit. Narayan.
Definitely their confidence has taken a hit, but the way they have lost 19 wickets against the finger spin is a matter of a concern. So today West Indies might be tempted to play all their spinner Akil Hossain, Moti and Roston Chase. Rakesh, coming to you, if you talk about the vital cog in the West Indies setup, Darren Sammy, 2012 captain, 2016 captain, and now he is the coach of this West Indies team in this format. So do you think that this Darren Sammy factor could be crucial for the West Indies again?
Not really. I don't think Darren Sammy's presence will have any impact on the outcome of the match. Darren Sammy has been around. I mean, even when he was the skipper of the team, probably I've not seen any captain come so low down in the order, despite the fact that he was in the team, not as a bowler. He was there more of a guy who could contribute with the bat. But despite of all that, I think probably one of the weakest captains on paper in history. You haven't seen any other West Indian skipper who was in the team as captain without contributing either with the bat or with the ball. So his presence there is all fine. He can contribute with his ideas. That's about it. I mean, because most of these players come to India and play in the IPL. So they know the conditions, they know what to do. They don't need any guidance from the coach. So with this particular team and the attitude of the West Indians, especially those born, say, after say the year 2000, 25 and under, those guys, 25, 26 years old. Now, those guys who have taken up cricket only to play T20, now that is what makes them so dangerous. For generations, their 50-over game has taken a hit. Their 50-over team has become increasingly weaker, but their 2020 team, West Indies team, has always been pretty decent. They have been very, very competitive. So the same situation arises here in this edition of the World Cup, because those guys have been playing reasonably good cricket. Of course, in the last game, they got smashed badly by 9 wickets. But then that has nothing to do with their strength, the kind of strength that they pose as individuals, especially the top three. They can come and they come very hard at you. Their middle order is reasonably good. And in the last game, as we saw, they lost early wickets. More than half the side was out and like they hadn't even reached 100 runs. But that late partnership lifted them from nowhere to give them a total. But of course, that also didn't prove enough. What I'm trying to say is that that's a competitive unit. They must have learned from their last outing, and their batting is their strength, not their attack. So be it England, be it West Indies, and also Australia, the three teams which came to the 2026 World Cup, I feel that all these three teams had poor attacks. Even I still maintain that England has a weak attack, and so has West Indies. So India, South Africa, these are the teams. They are there because they have a pretty decent attack. So here we have to capitalize most by hitting their bowlers. And our batters have done reasonably well. But here the problem is our bowling hasn't been impressive. Though we have a good attack, we haven't been impressive enough. And this West Indies attack, they know it. And Eden Gardens, they all have come and played here. So conditions will not be alien to them. So Indians will have to play really well to win this game. Let's not make any mistakes just because we are the favorites. And most of people, most of
But I
Indian
think
fans have
after
already
that South
assumed.
African
Yeah.
loss, our favorite tag has been removed because many questions were posed after that win, the way India just were bundled out for 111. Suchitra, coming to you, if we talk about this match, if we talk about India's top order, it was a matter of concern. We were discussing that in the last match, Abhishek Sharma scored a half century, but before that he was not up to the mark. Even the others were performing in patches. So do you think it's very important for the Indian top order to be there at their top again? Because if Abhishek Sharma plays, definitely it's a different ball game altogether.
Yes, Narayan. I think Abhishek Sharma will gain some confidence with his innings against Zimbabwe. But yes, he got a nice support, and it was good to see that shuffle in Indian batting lineup because they were sticking to the rigid batting lineup. They were sending a left-hander after a left-hander, a left-right combination on the crease. It always helps the batting team, and it always creates some difficulties for the bowling attack. And also you have to be fluid in the T20 cricket. It was so great to see Tilak Verma and Ishan Kishan, playing the way they batted. And of course, Hardik Pandya, I think he is going to be the X factor for Team India in this T20 World Cup. He's contributing with bat, he's contributing with ball. And T20 cricket, you don't have the time to, you don't have any time to waste. So players like Hardik Pandya, who contribute with bat and ball, they are super utility. And of course, fielding, I think India still needs to work on their fielding. Even against Zimbabwe, some catches were dropped. So in this do or die match, you can't afford to drop matches. So yes, it was good to see the Indian top batters click. They'll have to keep doing it in this match. And of course, everyone has to contribute. They have to be ready to play on any number, and they have to play according to the situation. If you are batting at number 3, your game has to be different. If you are coming at number 6, your game has to be different. You have to have the shots in your stock so that you can play them when it needs be. Narayan.
All right, our batters has to fire today in important match. It's a do or die clash. Rakesh, if you talk about this West Indies team, they have lost 67 wickets since the last World Cup in T20s. So in that sense, do you think that Varun Chakravarthy is going to be a considerable threat for West Indies in today's match?
See, it depends if they allow him to bowl the way he wants to bowl. Because if, we have seen that a lot of teams have come prepared against him. They attack him straight away. They know that he has to be hit. There is no other way out. You can't let him settle down to his rhythm. So I'm sure West Indies has a plan. And Varun Chakravarthy, because so much is expected of him, and so that is why the support staff of almost all the leading teams have tried to sort him out. They've all worked on him. They found a way how he bowls, the pattern of his attack. So expect West Indies to come prepared. Expect West Indies to come in a very aggressive mode. They won't be intimidated by India, because in this format West Indies plays very differently. Let's not make any mistake here. But that is what I'm saying. Our bowlers haven't been impressive. Our batters have come good. Everybody has done well against an attack like like Zimbabwe. It was great for India's confidence, no question about it. But now we have to bring out our game A. We haven't played our A game so far. We have reached virtually the quarterfinals of the tournament, and we still have to find our best game, because we have just played well, just well enough to win some, and one match where we were made to chase, we could not. So the idea is
Rakesh,
that
you are saying that India still has not produced their A game so far. So what's the reason you find why India is not able to produce their A game? They are playing in the Indian conditions.
That is exactly the point, is because our batters haven't clicked together. Because see, if you see what we have done in the last 1.5 to 2 years, we were very good upfront. One of our top 3 has always clicked. Here what is happening is, it is not the one person, it is not someone like Abhishek who has given you that confidence that okay, we can do well. Since the last World Cup, since the retirement of the top 3 guys, we are still finding a way to bat well against top teams in key matches. Bilateral tours are all fine because we are playing at home. The teams look different. But in this World Cup, somehow we have not been able to get our act together. It is not that we don't have the potential. This is a very good side, probably the best Indian team. But the problem here is you have to still show form, you have to still show consistency. So top three, as you can see, Abhishek has got 150. Ishan played well in that one game against Pakistan and of course one before that. But our middle order has held really fast. So these bits and pieces contributions have kept us going because we were batting first. What will happen if India is made to chase? That is my worry.
Definitely, chase is a worry for the Team India, but I think still India is the best team in this tournament, despite we can have one blip against South Africa. We know that all the things that happen in the group stages or in the Super 8, where there was a second chance. But I think the real game of the India, as you mentioned, the game A, they have to produce here. They will produce in today's game, and after that also, let's see what happens, because West Indies is also very unpredictable. They have many class pinch hitter. If they play to their potential, difficult for any team to sustain against them. So thanks Suchitra, thanks Rakesh for joining us and giving a wonderful perspective of this important clash or do or die clash between India and West Indies in Super 8. Thanks for joining. So will the Men in Blue script another memorable chapter under pressure, or will West Indies rewrite the script? The answer awaits on field. From all of us here at DD India, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the continued coverage of India versus West Indies match on DD India. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.